Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast. My name is Aiden, and this is my channel, Aiden's Thoughts, which is soon going to be named Aiden's Thoughts Podcast because it's a podcast, and I think it'd be nice. Anyways, today's episode is all about healing. Healing from a relationship, healing from something that used to be a death of something or someone. Healing is becoming complete once more, and that's the topic, or is, I guess, the heading of today's episode. So, first to clarify that healing isn't easy and takes time to properly happen or complete. You can't rush healing. It's, biologically, when we get an injury, you can't rush the process of healing because it takes time. It needs to have that time so that it can properly transform into what it needs or, perform what it needs to do. Like currently um recovering from a foot injury, and it's been about 2 months, 2 months for a foot injury. I mean, I know that's bonkers. Anyways, healing may require the act of letting go of certain things, people, and old beliefs. Healing to me is letting go of something that was part of you, like, it's hard to let go of things that were part of you because that gave you meaning or some type of like incentive to, hey, this, whatever this is within my life right now, it's giving me meaning, it's giving me purpose, and I don't want to let that go. And majority of what I mean by healing, I'm going to try to focus more on relationships with another person, your significant other. Healing, especially from after a breakup or some, parting ways or slowly fading away from someone, is hard. And when you're in that, stage of healing, it can feel difficult to let go of something. But it is necessary to let go of some things, and that's okay because you're allowing room for other things to take up its place, something that is more beneficial, you're returning to yourself again. And allowing yourself to convey emotions isn't weak. During that stage, you shouldn't hide your emotions to be like, I need to be strong because I'm a man, or I gotta be strong because I'm a woman. I don't wanna be vulnerable. It's okay it's okay to show emotions. What makes you stronger because people see showing emotions as a sign of weakness. It's okay, and that's what I believe. Showing emotions is what makes you stronger as a person, as a human being. And that's what being human's all about, is showing emotion. Don't lose yourself in someone. And that's what a little bit I wanna talk about. When you are, in love with someone or loving someone, don't lose yourself. Um, like, don't tie your entire identity to someone else because that's not your life anymore. And, you know, I've been in that stage where I would tie my entire identity to someone, and it's not fun, especially me going through that, stages of healing. It's hard. It feels like you're rebuilding yourself back up from, not ground zero, level 0, but you're still building yourself up, and it takes effort and time, and that's what healing is. And I would say that I'm still in that stage of healing from something, and it's okay to, and this is something I need to hear myself. That's why I'm also making this YouTube videos or just this episode of the podcast is I need to hear this myself, and I think if I could share it with others, they might need it as well. Healing is finding your way back to yourself. Like I've said previously, healing is finding your way back to yourself because allowing healing to take play a role within your life. You're allowing yourself to go back to yourself, you know, making way for yourself once more. And doing that to me is showing love. It's self-love, and that's important. It's an important aspect of when trying to heal from someone, something, or some whatever. Self-love is important. Patience is important. Being courageous during is important as well because you need all these things in order to properly heal. Like if you don't give patience, you're not going to properly heal. Healing is letting go of unnecessary emotional weight. Letting go of unnecessary emotional weight, especially in the I guess the setting of a relationship. Letting go of this emotional, I guess unintended emotional weight can make life seem so much easier. Because because I was once in a predicament where I felt like there was a lot of unnecessary emotional weight for no reason, and I guess I'm still kinda in that stage of letting go of someone, and that's okay. Everyone eventually experiences this stage of letting go of someone that, you felt like had a very important role in your life, and that's hard to kinda accept at first, and that's something I still struggle with. I mean, there's days where I just feel like, Damn, damn." That's the only way I can really put it is you gave so much, meaning to one person where kinda tie your identity to them, that when they, either part ways or break up or whatever, you're missing that piece, like, it's a pie chart, you're missing that they took that, that part away from you. I learned that from Joe Bart, wonderful guy. Um, it's like when you allow someone to love you or be within your life, they're becoming part of that pie chart. And then when they leave or they, die, or I hope they don't die, or, slowly fade within your life, fade out of your life, that pie chart is gonna remove and you're not 100%, you're not whole again. And that's why I think why it hurts so much is letting go of something is it hurts. It can be unbearable sometimes, like, it's but I think believe it's a necessary, I guess event. It's a canon event in your life that you kinda need to let happen, especially in order to become, a better person. Because you learn from those things. You learn and grow from those things. Experiences that kinda hurt, you grow from it. Accepting what you can't control or change can help you heal further, and that's something I need to help, here as well, not help, here as well, because there's a lot of things that I can't control about my situation that I'm in right now that I wish I can control, but I still try to somewhat control and linger onto those fading emotions or those ideas that were used to be of someone that aren't there anymore. Or I guess that idea of version that I have in my head, that person is not there anymore. And that's something I am still struggling to kind of let go of because it's hard to let go of something that you had a lot of emotions or I guess emotional weight for someone. It's hard to let go of something that you feel like you gave your all, but yet you kinda it was, to no avail, I guess. Fate didn't go your way. And that's what I mean, but accept the things that you can't control and accept the things that you can. And allowing that gives you more clarity, and that makes the healing process a lot easier. Obviously, it's a lot easier said than done, but I believe that will help you a lot, especially if you're in the same situation that I'm in. Um, I'm not gonna say that I understand whoever's on the other side of the screen that would be dealing with something like this, but at least being able to relate to someone can really help. So, I hope whoever may be watching this video, if you're in the same boat that I am, I hope you're doing well. And the things that I'm gonna say that I've said now and will say in the future of this video, hopefully it kind of resonates with you. Healing requires you to sit with yourself and uncomfortable feelings and thoughts. Like those thoughts of like, I remember when this happened, or you sorrowfully reminisce about that person. Those uncomfortable moments, especially for me, it gets really hard at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. Those emotions are so loud, like the silence is very loudening. It's deafening sometimes. And it hurts to feel that way. I hate to be in that situation where I'm drowning in my own thoughts sometimes and my own emotions because I feel helpless. And that uncomfortability is growth. I know it's stupid as it sounds, stupid as it sounds, but conveying those emotions that you have, especially if you aren't comfortable with yourself, just by yourself with your own thoughts, being able to train yourself to be comfortable with yourself, that's first. I mean, that's you're actively on the path of self-love, and it's also just you're learning to solve problems through yourself. And there was a quote, I don't know who it's from or how it's properly said, but it's like if a man could sit in a room just with his thoughts, all the world's problems will be solved. Something like that, but I genuinely believe that's true. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable with your thoughts and feelings because life can be hard. Feelings can be unbearable sometimes, and that's all right. You have to just keep moving along and allow yourself to don't bottle them up and then save them for later, and then all of a sudden, I guess weeks, months later, they come out of nowhere. Allow yourself to feel those things so they don't bottle up and become something much worse, like resentment. Don't resent someone. The main reason it hurts so much because they were part of you. Like I said earlier, I have my stuff written down here. That's what kind of sounds like I'm kind of repeating things, but it hurts so much because they were part of you. It's like the pie chart analogy that I used earlier. Healing can change you. Healing changes a person because when you remove that piece of the pie chart, you're giving room for something else to come within play. And since the identity shift happens during healing, you become a new, I guess, version of yourself. You change once more, and that's okay to change. Change is okay, especially with healing. If you allow change, you allow a better version of yourself to be presented to the world, to the people, to yourself. And allow change. Let healing to change you, because it's usually for the better, because healing always leads to a stronger version of yourself. It's like when you break a bone, you let it heal and it usually comes back stronger. If it ain't hurting, it ain't working. This is a line from one of my songs that I like. I don't know the song, but the artist is Glaive. I love the guy so much. It's a really great artist. I believe that. If it ain't hurting, it ain't working. Healing hurts, but if it's hurting, it's working. It's like, when we work out, it hurts, it works. Pain, no gain, I guess. Um, but you get the point. If it's not hurting, it's not working. Pain is growth. To connect with the quote, a little quote I had earlier. Pain is growth. And it's like growth pains in your body when you were in like a preteen or a teenager or whatever. Healing is the first step to being someone you are proud of because you are learning to be whole again. Healing allows you to become you again, fully you again. And once you become, someone that you enjoy to be around, especially, once you could be alone in your thoughts and not feel like you are drowning in them or you're uncomfortable because these thoughts just kind of present themselves as these giant enemies of, I guess, just emotions that you're like, damn, I don't know what to do. Once you can get past these things and become whole, it'll be easier to be yourself by yourself. And I think alone time is it's a key concept for healing, because if you don't have alone time, how are you going to be able to sit alone with your thoughts? And that's a key aspect. And you're going to be alone a lot in life. Not that like sound very, I guess, pessimistic, but majority, I would say most of the time, not most of the time, you're going to have days where you're alone. That's the key point here. Um, Healing is self-love coming into play. Once again, if you allow yourself to heal, you're treating yourself like someone that you deeply care for. Obviously, if you care for someone deeply, you're gonna want them to heal from whatever hurt. That's why humans naturally have compassion for people that are hurting, because you don't want to see someone or something hurting. It hurts to see other people hurting, and that's an act of self love, because if you allow yourself to heal, you're showing compassion towards yourself, and that's key. Be understanding with yourself within that tender state of vulnerability and just healing. When you're healing, you're in the state of vulnerability. I guess tenderness. Well, some people harden up and become like a rock and don't open up, which I don't think is the right way to do it. Obviously, different people have different ways of healing, but I believe being vulnerable and opening up to others around, not to the person that I guess is the main cause of your suffering. Like, don't go back to running to your ex. Like, you caused this suffering. You made this happen. Or go to a friend that you made this happen. Don't do that. I don't think it's a good idea to reach out to someone, especially when they're at a stage of healing, because those lingering emotions are still gonna attack you, and they're not gonna allow you to heal. And so if you are, just be patient with yourself. If you're patient with yourself, you allow time to take you allow time to do its thing. Choosing yourself is not selfish, especially when healing. Choosing yourself is not selfish, because when you allow yourself to heal, you got to put yourself first sometimes. And I think, especially when you're trying to heal from someone, something, or some old idea or belief, you have to put yourself first, because if you don't, you're going to be constantly in that stage of, I got hurt again, I got to heal again. I got hurt again, I got to heal again. And if you keep doing that, it's just going to be an endless cycle of healing and hurting. And you're gonna feel like life sucks and it's gonna feel dull and meaningless because you're not allowing yourself to be whole. Because if you can't see whole, your perspective is gonna be, I guess, in a way like corrupted because you're not allowing yourself to be whole and see who you are when you're completely healed, I guess. Don't use resentment or regret as a tool to move on. Like, especially for moving on from a relationship. Obviously, there might be some things that the person or the thing may have hurt you. Some things that may have hurt you. They may have cheated on you, may have done something to stab you in your back. Some things they may have done something. Don't allow resentment to grow within you, because if you allow resentment to grow within you, it's gonna cloud your judgment, your view, and you're gonna resent yourself. You're gonna resent the world because resentment builds up if you don't eliminate it, if you don't uproot it from where it's coming from. And, you know, don't use regret as a tool to move on. Like, especially I feel like a lot of people use resentment, madness, anger as a tool to move on because that's their only way that they feel like they can move on. Not being I guess forgiving and forgetting, which I talk about later in my notes. Don't use resentment to move on. It's not healthy for both parties, regardless if they cheated on you or not. Obviously, it sucks. I've never been in that boat where I've been cheated on, but don't use resentment as a tool to move on because it's not healthy. Everything gets better with time. Everything gets better with time if you allow time to do its thing. Right now, whatever state you're in right now, emotionally or mentally, it's hard. It sucks. It feels like you can't keep going forward because you just got out of a storm, you just got into a storm, or you're currently in one. Emotions, especially when it's painful emotions, can cloud your perspective of what time can do for you and how, I guess, what time the power of time can do, like, or be. Like, allowing yourself to, I guess, feel those things, especially that, like, when you feel like the best way I could describe it is when you're in that pool of emotion, you just feel like this sucks. I want this to be over now. You gotta allow time. You gotta be patient with yourself and time. The universe, you gotta be patient with the universe because patience is key. You gotta let yourself slowly rebuild because if you rush it, it's not gonna be complete. Healing isn't forgetting them, it's remembering without hurting. And that's what I mean by like the forgetting and forgiving. You don't have to forget them. You don't have to forget them as as a character. Maybe forget certain like things they've done to you. Maybe that's a good way of coping. But I believe that allow yourself to heal and remember them, but don't cling to those memories, those times, those emotions that they once were, those old identities that they presented at that time. Don't cling to those because that is your source of suffering, is your own brain. Because it's like you shut off a valve to water. There's no flowing water. It's gonna rust. It's gonna, slowly erode. You gotta allow it to flow. And then once you allow it to flow, fresh water, it will slowly, I guess, that swampy mess that you're in right now, it will slowly filter out and be clear. You gotta heal, but not forget them because unless you want to forget them and that uses them as, I mean, I guess, you can use it as a coping mechanism, go ahead. But for me, I think remembering them because I believe talking bad about a person or a person that you're interested in or dating, you once liked that person and forgetting them, that's an act of disrespect to me. And they made you who you are now. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't go through that stage of healing. You would still be in that, I guess, you wouldn't be the version that you were now. So forgetting them is maybe not the best, thing. Remember them without hurting and clinging to those old memories. Healing is also caring without clinging, just like I said. Um, and that's okay. It's okay to miss someone. It's okay because that's human. When you miss someone or reminisce about someone, that means that you cared. You cared at one point, and you still care. Those emotions are heavy because that's what makes people human is those emotions that feel really heavy. Letting go is an act of love because you allow them to explore life and themselves without pouring into one category, like putting your basket, not putting your eggs in one basket, not your basket in one egg. That didn't make any sense. Pouring your eggs in one basket. That's more of a financial quote, but more in the relationship and like mental term is like don't pour all you got into one person, especially when you're so young like me. Allow yourself to explore opportunities, life, before settling down with one person. And when you let go of someone, a significant other, someone that you friends maybe, whatever your situation or goals that you connect with this video that maybe some whatever you can relate to, letting go of them is an act of love because you allow them to explore themselves. They get to grow because if you hold on to it, if you pick the flower from where it is, it's gonna die. But if you let it go and still admire it, I guess, and let it go and let it be, it grows to something beautiful. Make peace with what is no longer there. I think that's one of the hardest parts about trying to make peace or letting go or just healing is that person, that thing, that whatever that you are reminiscing or missing about, it it's hard to make peace with something like that. That's something I'm still struggling with a bit. Um, it's hard to make peace with, someone that you really, really cared about, and you were like, this person was my everything. And trying to make peace with that is really hard because you care. You don't want to give up. Like, like for me, it, I mean, it was, I guess, pretty recent, but like during this stage of healing and letting go of what I guess, idolizing, it was these two phrases like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if you want something, go for it. Those are the two phrases that I've always fought against within my head. And I'm realizing that I need to stop fighting and just let it be. People will talk to you if they want to talk to you. Obviously, make action to talk with people. Don't be in that nonchalant, I guess, mindset of, if it's meant to be, don't let everything flow. Sometimes you got to fight for the things that you believe in. And I believe that, still make peace with what's not there. Holding on to the past or holding on to things can make you, I guess, more emotional, adds more emotional weight than what there already needs to be. Healing isn't linear. You don't have to get better in a straight line for it to count. Healing is a tough process. It's a tough journey. There's days where it's up, you feel great, and there's days where you feel down and depressed and sad and angry and emotional and you don't know what to do. It's okay to heal in those days of up and down because it doesn't have to be linear. It doesn't have to be straight. Healing isn't easy. It's not linear. It's not going to be easy because you were whole you I guess once again with the pie chart analogy, that was part of you, and now you have to work on yourself to become whole again. That's hard. And obviously with certain relationships, that can cause trust issues, new boundaries of fear that can cause stuff. But allowing yourself to heal in whatever way you're is necessary for you healing, like you could I guess it could be straight, it could be up and down, it could be a circle, triangle. I don't know. You get the point. Healing is different for everyone. And that's okay. So heal the way that you think is necessary. Obviously, once you heal, there's gonna be a lot of things that you realize that, hey, I did this wrong during that stage, but that's the whole point of it. You realize things by experiencing. Be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year. Even nature has its seasons where it isn't the prettiest. Healing isn't pretty either. It, sometimes it sucks. Like there's gonna be some days where you feel depressed, and that depression can lead to you not doing the things that you usually love to do because healing can hurt. It it's when that hurting lingers, it can kind of influence you not to do certain things, especially when it comes to like hobbies, beliefs, things. Like when you get sad and emotional, you get, I guess, very lethargic, and it makes you just feel, I guess, not the prettiest. You don't look the prettiest, even nature. When winter comes, all the leaves fall down and all the trees are very, I guess, jagged and naked and not the prettiest. And that's and obviously you can still find beauty in, healing in nature when it's winter because you can find beauty in anything. But the point is, be patient with yourself. While healing, don't allow certain influences or triggers to keep you from moving on and become whole again. Let go of certain influences or triggers, like things that trigger you to like think of them again. That's what holds you back from moving on from someone because for me what it was it was certain things. It was certain apps like Instagram and I guess mostly Instagram because I don't use social media that much. But only besides this, because I actually like to do this stuff. Um, like certain triggers like those, like, things, apps, beliefs, certain, I guess, patterns, because when you love someone, they become a part of your daily routine. And when they kind of just part ways or fade out, you have to rebuild your daily routine. And for me, that was the hardest part, was that daily routine thing. I was so used to like saying, "Oh, hey, good morning and good night, and I hope you're doing okay." I can't do that no more. Um, because I have to allow myself to heal. I have to let go of these triggers, these influences, these things. Certain people can influence you, certain friends. Like there's a lot of cases where I've seen where people would break up with someone and they would hate their friends because they reminded them of the person that they broke up with. And obviously, don't hate no one because you simply broke up. That's not a reason to, I guess, hate someone. But the point is, if you feel like you can't move on, reflect on the things that you're consuming, the things that you look like. Don't stalk their Instagram or their Snapchat profile. Move on. Uh, I guess don't try to like I guess linger around and try to get like information because there's a lot of things that especially during that stage of healing, there's a lot of things, especially questions they're never going to be answered, and that's okay. Some things are left better unanswered, and that's okay. Because if you allow yourself to just not put all that extra energy in useless things that aren't going to let you heal, what's the point of it? You're going to keep hurting yourself. So let go of those things that you feel like are hurting you. For me, I guess I can give some prime examples was the apps, the things, the daily routines, reflect on the things that, whatever they were part of, whatever lingers, like, certain things maybe in your room that maybe certain memorias or I don't know, items. Maybe put them in a cardboard box and put it in the attic for a couple of years and then come back to it and be like, "Oh, wow, I remember that." Give your time to heal. Give yourself some time to heal, man. 'Cause healing's important. Healing can be scary because you don't know what awaits you on the other side. That kinda, like I kinda fear that as well, because like, I don't know who I'm gonna be after this stage of healing. Obviously, I have a positive outlook on it, so I'm probably to be a better version of who I am right now because I'm going into my senior year soon, and I wanna be healed before I go into my senior year because first, I wanna be the best version of myself that I can be, especially since I have to get, moving, harder work, college is, around the corner. I gotta get the stuff ready. So if I can heal and move on, gives me better time to work on myself, work on my careers, my hobby, my life. And that can be scary a little bit, not knowing who the person I may become after this. But don't fear it. Don't wait. Keep going. Just just keep man, if you don't like the person who you are on the other side, you can change. You have the power to change yourself. That's probably I'm gonna talk maybe about that in another episode. Healing is standing on your own 2 feet again. It's, being independent. It's being able to, "I don't need your support no more." Not like in a nonchalant, like, mean way, but, like, I don't need support anymore. I can stand up on my own 2 feet because 'cause I'm whole again. I'm complete. I'm who I am. And that's a good thing to learn. It's okay to miss someone or something. That's a big part of healing is you're gonna feel a lot of emotions of missing and reminiscing because that's what makes you human. That's just it's inevitable to miss something because that was part of your routine. It was part of you. And when that once it disappears, it feels like you're not whole. That empty void in your heart, it kind of just it permeates and it's persistently in your heart and you don't know what to do. But that's when you work on yourself. Try new hobbies, try new things. Obviously, in that lethargic state of, I miss someone, I'm depressed, it's hard to get yourself out of bed and do things. But I promise you, finding new things while you're healing is so much better than finding things while you're fully healed because you allow some of those things can become part of you. And there's another note that I take the very end, which we'll talk about in a minute. Healing isn't erasing the past, it's learning to live with it differently. Don't erase don't cope with it as of erasing your memories to move on because those memories made you as a character. They made you as a person. And forgetting that, you're forgetting yourself in a way because everything connects. Everything. I guess the butterfly effect. One small impact can lead to a big. That small memory can change everything. You try to maybe forget it. Maybe usually it's like psychologically wise, people, especially if there's a lot of trauma and hurt, they forget it because that helps them heal. But what I'm trying to say is, don't live with the memory where it's not hurting you because that's what made you you. And here's what I was talking about earlier. Best healing coping tools are the things that make you feel happy, not whole. Don't use coping mechanisms as a way of, I guess, feeling whole or trying to fill those things with empty voids, especially negative things. Like a lot of people go to alcohol, cigarettes, sex, situations after a breakup because you think those things are going to fill you up again. No, they're not. You have to work on yourself to become whole. And then don't obviously do those things, but find different hobbies that make you happy. Like for me, right now, what's helping me move on from someone, YouTube, working on my college stuff, um, working out, and running is going to be a big part of it once I can run again because I'm still recovering from an injury, but that's okay. And to end off today's episode, which this is my longest episode yet, bravo, Aiden. Um, Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It simply means the damage no longer controls your life. Hopefully that kind of resonates in you guys. Thank you for your time. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. I hope you learned a lot. And yeah, I will see you guys next episode, which I have no idea what it's going to be. I'll figure it out. Anyways, thank you for your time. I love you guys. And this was Aiden. Bye bye.